I'm gonna talk without this. I got a big voice. I'm not gonna take you long here because it's been a long 2 weeks for me. I've been on the road. I've been in 5 different countries telling the same story, and I'm gonna change it tonight because I'm getting tired of my own voice. I really am. I mean, I've done this. Okay, here's the deal. Inca 1. All this stuff is on the internet. You can read it without me droning on it. First of all, how many of you in this room have heard about toll milling in any? Does anybody? Who has ever heard of toll milling?
Yes. Well,
great. That's the story I want to tell you tonight. Any of you have ever invested in Facebook?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Would you have liked to own Facebook? Yes, you would. Where am I going with this? First of all, I'm in the toll milling business and it makes a lot of money, okay? But before you understand why it makes money, I want to explain what it is, because nobody can invest in a business if you don't understand it, okay? Here's what toll milling is. In the world, there's a ton and ton of gold and silver and lead and zinc that is produced by small mines. Okay? Not the big mines, the small mines, the 5 and 6 guys that crawl into these holes every day and pull out 1 and 2 tons of ore. Okay? It doesn't sound like a big business. It's a huge business. In Peru alone, 1.5 to 2 million ounces of gold is pulled out of the ground by 3 and 4 and 5 members in a mining team. Okay? The key is they can't process their own ore. For 400 years, they've been doing it the old way, including mercury, okay, which is bad for the environment. Has anybody ever heard the guys that make the money in a gold rush are the guys that sell the shovels? Yeah. You heard that? That's me. I'm a shovel salesman. I go out every day and I buy gold from miners at 1 ton. Now what I would do, grab this. Have we got this? Grab it. Hold it up. All right. This is how my gold comes to me every day in trucks. Okay? I don't have to find it. I don't have to drill it. I don't have to be like Bill and scare my investors about whether I'm going to find gold or not. It comes to me every day in trucks. I even had 100 llamas come to my front gate with gold on it. Right? And I take their gold and I weigh it. And we have a discussion about how much is in there. Within 72 hours, I can tell you how much gold is in that truck. This one here, there was $100,000 of gold. Okay? And here's how I make money. I gave him $60,000 for that truck. Okay? And I took the $40,000. And that's how toll millers make money. There isn't a company in the world today that's leading in this industry. This has all been done by privateers around the world in 4 different continents, in 5 different minerals, and hundreds of guys like me. What we did is we saw a business opportunity. I don't want just to make a little bit of money doing this. I want to make a lot of money doing this. And I can produce an ounce of gold for 1/7 the cost of an average mine. I have 0 mine risk because these guys bring it to me every day. Why do they do that? Well, they can't afford it to process their own ore, right? They don't have enough money because that plant costs $5 million to build, and I do it 100 tons a day, and that thing will kick off around $5 to $6 million US a year. So whatever I put out, I get back every year, and it never runs out of gold. This is the cool part. Where do we go? Okay, this is Peru. I own 3 of these, right? I'm the biggest ore processor by capacity now in Peru. And within the next 36 months, I'm probably going to be the biggest ore processor in the world for the small miner. And it's not that hard. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, right? But what I did was I saw an opportunity when we were down in Peru, and we were like a whole bunch of other junior resources out of Vancouver. We were punching holes trying to find the next big discovery. And then we saw it. You see, here's what we're good at. We're good at avoiding problems. Because who was invested in junior resources in 2012? That would have been a good year to get out. Okay? Right? We did. We got out of the junior resource exploration business and we got into this business. And that plant that you saw was really ugly. We didn't have a lot of money. But what we did, we had $1 million in the bank and we spent $500,000 buying that plant. Right? And then we convinced my friend over here, Bjorn, out of Switzerland, to give me another $5 million so I could go build that one. Proof of concept. And the reason why I wanted to do it was, I'm a business opportunist. And everybody else doesn't want to go play in this sector because they think small-scale mining is small business. Let me tell you, small-scale mining is big business. I'm going to show you a map. This is a whole bunch of stuff. It's on my website, and it'll bore you. That's my plant now. I brought it on budget, on time, and I started producing right away. And last quarter, we started making some money. Okay, this is a cool map. Take this map and look at this. Whether you invest in me or not, it's okay. But if you want to invest in a future business opportunity, go understand the toll milling business. Because over the next decade, and guys like this here, he's young enough, he'll figure it out, this is going to be a huge industry, worldwide. This is where I've got two plants. Number one, that's a province of Arequipa, okay? In Arequipa, there are 13,000 mines that can't process their own ore. They got to come to guys like me, okay? And the government made it mandatory. This is what the cool part is in Peru. A couple years ago, they said, look, we're going to basically, you can buy minerals, meaning me, only if that mine is legal, okay? And the government has to submit your papers, and it's called the formalization process. And I can only buy gold from legal mines, which now about 1/3 of the mines in Peru are legal. And about 1/2 of the mills, like me, are legal. And if you're not legal, the government literally blows you up. In Chala alone, this is what scared me one night. Got a call from our mill manager. The army is down here blowing up mills. And in about a 3 square mile area, they blew up. The Marines came in, C4 inside of the tanks, blew them all up. It's a really good way to get ahead is when the army takes out your competition. All right? Now what's cool is these mines here are here. So this is where I've got 2 mills right now, and I've got teams. I don't have any mining risk. These guys go out, my sales guys go out every day, and they buy ore. And here's what is the competitive advantage. I have cash, and I'm going to get a lot more cash, especially after this trip, because I've been talking to some Swiss and German bankers. They really like us, and they're going to give us enough to fill 2 of these plants really fast, right? And that's a competitive advantage because I compete against private Peruvian companies that don't have enough working capital. They can't get working capital lines of credit in their own country. It's public companies like me that are well capitalized, run by professionals, that is doing the trick. So this here is where we got our first 2 plants. I also bought another plant up here. Now here's something you probably don't know, right? These guys will truck ore for up to 2,500 kilometers, right? How many, if I'm going to drive to Paris from here, how many kilometers is it? Anybody know?
Thousands, 1,200.
How many kilometers from Vienna to Paris? 1,200, okay? So this is what these guys do. To Paris and back from up here, and I also import Bolivia, and they come in convoys, and they bring their ore to me. Now some of this ore is 5 and 6 ounces per ton. Now, Bill, what is your average grade going to come out of Lincoln Hill? He hates this.
It's going to be about 0.7.
Yeah, so about 9 times more gold. Now, Bill's got a great project, and he'll have his plant right there, and it makes a lot of money, and I'm an investor. But right now, these guys come from up here to down here, and this is where the highest concentrations of mill are. I wanted it up there so I could cut off supply to my competition. I'm a vicious competitor when it comes to this business in Peru. Because we want to basically, I just don't want a return on my money. I want a return of my money first, and then I want a return on my money. I'm the biggest shareholder in this company, and I got a lot on the line, right? But I've seen this business work really well, And what I like about the future is that I'll probably be one of the players, but I think there's going to be a lot of people in this industry. So if you want to take a look at where you want to place some of your investment capital, don't go out and buy me. Please don't. Go out and learn about me. Go learn about this industry first. So if you want to deploy some of your capital to an emerging industry and be an early stage investor, that's who makes the most money, not the guys in there collecting dividends. We got some of those guys too in our business. But you want to understand this industry, particularly in Peru. It's one of the leading countries, but there are over 25 other countries now sending delegates to Peru to see how they're doing it. Because what's happened as a result of controlling this, the Peruvian government is getting more taxes. And they're using guys like me as a tax collector, right? I can't export my ore unless I prove where the gold comes from. And so I'm basically becoming this massive database for the government who come in and audit me all day long, okay? But I've got a head guy from Barrick, and he was running the billion-dollar mining operation for them down there, running my operation. We went out, we recruited some of the top guys in Peru, and they're all Peruvian. We also recruited some of the top people that are in the milling business to run our operation, and now we're ready to scale. So in the last couple of months, we've went from one plant, and this explains all that cool stuff I talked about. This is really boring. The markets get excited about us when we can produce 400 tons a day of ore. Because at 400 tons a day, our company will generate 100,000 ounces of gold. It seems to be some magical numbers that the bankers get all excited about. So my first operation's Chala, proof of concept. Got it to 100 tons. In the last, okay, and a lot of other guys tried to do this and screwed up, so I went in like a vulture and I picked them up for about 30 cents on the dollar, okay? And I did that in two public companies in Vancouver. I knew both the owners. They were running out of money, and I took advantage of them. That's what you do in this business for your shareholders. So I ended up with 300 tons of capacity. We're basically running, we're going to take this one, build it up to this one, and we'll do this in the first half. Now each one of these plants can be taken to 350 tons in the small scale mining sector, all right? And at 350 tons each, I will be at 1,000 tons, which is our stated goal we stated 2 years ago. And we get to control our destiny. And at 1,000 tons a day, our company will generate over 300,000 ounces of gold and have an EBITDA of close to $90 million. It's a really good business. And we're going to do it in about 36 months. The next couple of slides is all about why we bought these various companies. But here's the cool part. This is explains it. You can get this all on my website. Basically, it generates its capital back every 12 months. That's a good investment. And I don't come from the mining sector. I have no mining degree. I'm a finance guy, and I've built up multiple businesses, including franchising, big ones in Canada, and I know how to make money. And there's a secret to it that the mining industry is forgotten about. Have revenue, have some expenses, but make sure you make a profit, right? And that's what this company does, in particular in this sector. What am I going to do here? Here we go. This is my stock price. The reason why this is there is that in the last 5 months I haven't been able to promote my stock because I've been in acquisitions. I had 5 targets. I bought 3 of them. 2 of them I turned away. And we are going to be in constant acquisition mode. And we're going to be basically restructuring our balance sheet. We're going to send a lot of information on that over the next couple of weeks. And we have a lot of cool people in our business that are really good at what they do. On the mining side, we're not really a mine business, but we have a couple of guys in there that are doing that. Most of it's a finance business because at the end of the day, this business is all about having enough working capital to buy ore. There's zero mining risk. We just have to make sure that we run the proper margins in our operation. We're an industrial business in the gold sector. And there's one important economics to remember. It's a 60-40 split. We take 40%, the miners get 60%, and we could do that all day long. Once we're finished with gold, one day we'll get into copper, lead, zinc, and silver, and we'll do it in multiple jurisdictions. This is going to be a sector that's going to be rolled up by somebody with enough capital, and we've already started that process. And we don't have to take a decade to put a mine into production. We can add capacity very, very quickly. For what it takes the average mine to do 300 tons and $500 million, I can do in 36 months for about $60 million. And that's just simply a better return of investment. Yeah, we had a great website, inca1.com. I'm really thirsty. I'd like to have a drink. And so thanks for staying through this great presentation of all of our presenters. I understood none of the first hour. Okay? But you guys look like you're really cool and arguing about the price of future gold. Okay? What I think is that gold is going to go up. I just don't know when. But good management knows how to make money in bad markets. Right? And I like bad markets because my competitors are building these big plants that I can buy at 40 cents on the dollar, and I'm going to take advantage of them for the benefit of my shareholders. Thanks very much.